I'm Jane Pinsky with the North Carolina Coalition for Lobbying and Government Reform, which unfortunately got its start in the 2004, 2005, 2006 years when we had a series of ethical problems in this state, which proves that what we're talking about today is unfortunately not a new problem, which is that our elected officials who can grant contracts, unfortunately sometimes listen more to people who've given them political contributions than they do to the needs of the people of the state. In 2011, the North Carolina House recognized this problem and passed by a vote of 114 to 2 legislation that limited contributions by state vendors. We would urge the House and Senate to take up this legislation as soon as they return in the spring. The legislation is very simple. It provides a clear, bright line as to what someone who is both a state vendor and a contributor can do. And it is our contention that you can be either a big dollar contributor or you can be a state contractor. You cannot be both. The legislation simply says that if you want to be a state contractor, you can't give more than $500 to anyone who could potentially let a contract to your business or business by whom you are employed. North Carolina would not be charging out ahead in the crowd to pass this kind of legislation. Several states have had it for more than a decade. The Securities and Exchange Commission on the federal level has, for the last approximately 8 years, said that if you want to do any business with an entity that has anything to do with pensions, if you want to sell, you can't contribute. And if anyone in your company contributes, then your company cannot participate in that contract. There are also numerous counties, cities across the country who do the same thing. We think it's time that the people of North Carolina know that whatever their money is being spent on to buy the goods and services that we need, that they're getting the best value for their dollar and that it goes to the lowest bidder who can supply those goods and services. So we would urge that the North Carolina House once again pass a bill limiting contributions by state vendors, and that the North Carolina Senate, which did approve similar legislation as part of an overall state ethics bill, and then it got lost in the confusion in 2010, that it's time that they do it again.